A very, very warm welcome to one more brand new episode of the School of Men on the Stronger Men Project podcast. Today is a very, very important topic. This is something which I think will touch everybody and which is very, very important. It is about money. You may say that money is not the most important thing in life, but you have to agree to me that money is one of the most important things, if not the most important thing. And one of my online mentors says that money may not solve all your problems in life, but money will solve all the money problems, and that is a great thing to have, so that you can focus on other areas of your life. And today, our guest is someone who has mastered money and someone who is teaching money to other people. I would like to welcome Dinesh to this show. Dinesh, welcome to the show, and why not introduce yourself? What do you do, and a little bit about your background?
Sure, Adarsh. It's a pleasure to be on your show. Thanks for inviting me. And yeah, I'm on a journey to teach people about money, but I won't call myself master of money. It's just that I have been a student of money. I have some learnings based on what I did right, learnings based on the mistakes that I did. And I just want to share those learnings with other people who are starting on their financial journey so that they at least can avoid those mistakes which I did, and they should be experimenting more. They may commit some mistakes because mistakes are where we learn a lot, because life teaches us through the pain that comes out of mistakes. But if I can help them avoid those mistakes which I did, that's my mission basically. And basically, I'm not a finance person. I am by qualification an engineer. I did my engineering from IIT Roorkee, uh, 91 to 95 batch. And after that, going by the wave, I joined IT. And 27 years I spent in IT sector. I was doing well over there, earning good money, and life was quite good. It's just that right from the beginning of my schooling, I had very affinity towards my teachers, and teaching was something which came very natural to me. I like sharing my knowledge, whatever I have learned. During school time also, I used to go a little advanced, learn some chapters and share my knowledge with my fellow students. And it used to give me great pleasure. So same thing I'm trying to replicate with money, because money is a topic I got interested in starting 2008, and I found it fascinating. I did a lot of learning on it, and then started helping my fellow people, whosoever I came in touch with. They started telling me, "Wow, you are doing good." And 15 years later, like I felt like why not take it full time, because it was combination of teaching as well as money. Combining those two areas, I've started on this journey. So that's my brief introduction, and as we proceed, you and our audience will get to know more about me.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, Dinesh. It is a very, very what I would say, pure perspective you are coming with, because the aim of this is to help men to become better. And you said you are not a master, but you are a student. That's a very, very beautiful thing you said. And everybody is on their journey of learning, and the goal of this podcast is to draw lessons from you. Like, you have been a student of money for some time now, and I'm pretty sure all the lessons you are going to share in few minutes will help our listeners. So Dinesh, why don't you tell us what you exactly do now? Currently, what are you doing? You said why not? You said you are full time into teaching about money. Why not share what you exactly do?
Sure, I'll do that. It will be a pleasure to do that. So November 2022 was when I left my corporate job. And then I started thinking about how I can teach people about money. And since I have been an IT professional and I have worked in various MNCs, I was thinking of targeting these audience first. And typically when IT and MNC professionals, they start their career, they come to as a fresher to the companies after colleges, and they are given orientation. So I thought, why not give a half day orientation to them? And teach them about money also, because now they are going to start earning money and they may end up committing some mistakes. And one of the typical scenarios that I thought about was towards the end of the financial year, typically in Feb or March, an agent comes and sits in the reception of the office and tells people that, okay, to save taxes, buy this insurance plan. And I have gone through this myself. And since nobody wants to pay taxes, wants to save taxes, we don't have much understanding of how to interpret that plan, we end up buying that plan. And then later on, we realize, oh my God, like now I'm stuck with this plan, which is useless for me, not neither giving me insurance, not giving me returns. And that's a common scenario I have seen happening with myself and with a lot of fellow in colleagues also. So I thought, like, why not target? So I was thinking of doing that, but in between, somebody suggested me that you have been in technology area for so long, and these days digital is a way of reaching out to more people, and it made sense to me definitely. So initially, the plan was to start a YouTube channel, and I started with that. But then I came across Siddharth Rajshekhar, and there, the idea of combining coaching and social media using as marketing. So it struck a chord with me. And starting April 2023, I joined his hackathon, finished his hackathon. So that helped me put the basic systems in place. And from then onwards, like I have started marketing and brand building, putting content on social media, and also reaching out to various people to tell about my mission. So that has been my journey so far. I have started a community by the name of Mega Money Mastery Club. And as of now, 7 people are part of that community. And I'm going to reach out to more people to become part of this.
Yes. Thank you, Dinesh, for sharing the details. So, you said you have a community called Mega Money Mastery Club, right?
Yes.
Um, and you also said that you completely left your job and you started your plans to work in this field. Can you just tell me what prompted you to quit your job? Because um, I know that you might have been, very good very good job. You might be earning really good since you were working for over 2 decades, almost touching 3 decades.
Yeah.
And you might be earning quite well. And since you are, you have mastered a little bit about managing money, uh, your finances may also be very good. You might have had a very comfortable life going forward. But what prompted you to, get out of that comfort zone and start into
Sure.
this new field?
Sure. Sure. Yeah. Uh, I would like to share that. So there has, like I told you, like I had affinity towards teaching and helping others. So in between, during my 27 years career, I tried multiple times getting into this. I took 1 or 2 years career break in between and tried
Okay.
doing this. Uh, I came back from USA in 2002. At that point of time, also 1.5 years, I was trying this thing, and at that time, I was trying to teach school level students,
Okay.
but that was pure academic thing, because I used to feel that
Mhm.
I have, like I was academically good. I went to IIT, so I could academically help students. It didn't work out that well. And then around 2006 also I tried again. And this time, based on my experience in IBM, I had got experience of conducting technical workshops. So again, that I had done well. I thought, like, let me try taking it directly to public. Again, it didn't work out that well, and finances definitely becomes a constraint at that point of time. So I came back to corporate jobs, but this was always niggling in my mind that I need to do something related to that. And in my corporate jobs also, I tried to keep on doing this teaching, and whenever I got an opportunity. And now, like, I have now crossed 50 last year in December, and it started hitting me hard that, Dinesh, if you are not going to do it now, it's going to be never. So if you want to do something you want to do, and I wanted to do it parallel along with the job, but jobs these days are very demanding. Uh, and at senior level it becomes even more demanding. So I was spending nearly 12 hours at the job, and after that there was not much energy or time left to pursue a parallel thing. And at times companies also are not really willing that you should pursue something else. So I thought, like, if I have to do something which I want to do, and by now, like, financially, I felt initially when I started my career, okay, financial was the main thing. By now I felt like even if now I can't build the financial cushion for myself, then probably I have no one else to blame but myself only. So whatever the cushion is, I need to take a plunge, and only if I burn all my bridges, I'll be able to do it. So I burnt all my bridges, and that's why I came full time into it.
Uh, Great. I can relate to that burning the bridges. That is what I did when I quit my job. Um, but what was driving you? You said it was, uh, niggling in your mind that you wanted to do this. I would like to know why you wanted to do this. Why do you want to? You said the teaching is your interest, and
Yeah.
you are interested in money, and you choose to, combine both.
Yes.
But still, the question remains why.
Well, for me, that why is enough, that I want to create an impact in this world in one way or other. And these are my mediums which I really resonate with. See, I have been teaching people during my school time and even later during my corporate job, pro bono itself, because
Oh,
sharing my knowledge and if it benefits somebody, that itself gives me pleasure. I can do it without any financial consideration also. And even this journey which I am embarked on, it's not for financial consideration. It is for making an impact, making something which I believe in. Because in today's world, I feel that people have become too much obsessed with money.
mm,
Money is important, but uh, what I want to convey to people is that money is just a medium or a tool to accomplish something else. It could be better relations, it could be peace of mind, or it could be freedom. Those are the bigger goals. Rather than focusing on these bigger goals, people have become so much obsessed with money that they have lost sight of these bigger goals.
mm,
And at times they are sacrificing these bigger goals in the pursuit of money.
mm,
So money is important for me just as that tool or the medium to achieve those bigger goals. So at times when some people come to me and I question them, why do you want more money? And if they are just like stuck with this thing that just for the sake of having more money, I don't resonate with those people. I won't teach them how to make money. But if they have some bigger goal, I tell them focus on the bigger goal. And at times you may be able to accomplish that bigger goal without the money itself.
mm,
We will focus on how we can try to get more money to accomplish, but we shouldn't lose sight of those bigger goals.
mm,
So this is message which I totally strongly feel I have implemented on myself. And I feel like in our society, otherwise things have become so dry, people have become so obsessed with money that they are compromising their relations, they are compromising their health, they are compromising their peace of mind. In our childhood, we used to have this message or saying, if character is lost, sorry, if money is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. And if character is lost, everything is lost. In obsession with money today, people have totally reversed it. They say
yeah,
that if character is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, maybe something is lost. And if money is or wealth is lost, then everything is lost. I want to bring it straight again. That's my
yeah,
mission.
yeah. True, Dinesh. So, in this context, since you're teaching about money, you're teaching about how to manage money. In this context, um, how do you express to a listener um, the importance of money management?
Yes. So, although I like my main thing is to work with the bigger goals, but money as a tool is quite important in today's world. Um, as you said earlier, money is not everything, but if you don't have money, you will have be facing a lot of problems,
Yes.
and money can help you accomplish a lot. So I'm not undermining the importance of money. I fully understand the significance and importance of money, and I have worked on that in my own life also. And that's why I have chosen. uh, I'm trying to tap on that obsession of people, that, okay, yeah, money is important. Come to me, I'll teach you about money, but we'll keep our focus on the bigger goals. That's where I'm going to direct them. So um, I tell them, okay, money is important. Come to me. We'll work towards accomplishing bigger goals. And if money is going to help that, I teach you strategies, techniques, and what mistakes to avoid while
Mm.
pursuing this growing money, and how to save money, how where to invest to get better returns, and
Yeah.
also doing the risk management, because uh, when we pursue higher returns, it is that high risk, high return. So we
Yeah.
have to learn to manage that risk also. A
Mm.
lot of people fall into this trap that they want higher returns, they go for that, but they end up on the negative side of the risk. And then they always try to play safe, and they are not able to make big. So highlighting that risk, teaching them risk management is a very important aspect.
Yes. Okay, Dinesh. So, I would like to dig a little deeper on the technical aspect of money management. But before even that, I get a sense that you also teach about the mindset towards money. That is the most important thing, right? So what is, what do you think is missing? Like, why is it important that, young professionals have to learn about money management and what kind of mindset they have to develop as per you?
So one aspect I have already highlighted, others, that keep the bigger goals in mind. Money is
Mm,
not the bigger goal. Just I bring this thing in the perspective that money is not the end goal. One example which I share with them is that, imagine if someone is lying at his or her deathbed, and he has, say, 100,000 of crores in his account, but in his life he didn't had good relations, he didn't have good health, he didn't see the world, enjoy the world. So is that money really worth it? On the contrary, if at the same deathbed the person has this satisfaction that he has been able to create a positive impact in the world, he enjoyed a good life, he traveled around, he interacted well with people, he helped people, he or she helped people, won't that be a better situation if he had something like hundreds of rupees on the account at that point of time? Because after the life is over, what use is that money going to be for him or her? So that way I try to put them into the perspective that money is of that importance, a tool to so that's one aspect of mindset I try to teach them. After that, the other part of the mindset that I work with, and which I also suffered for a long time, was scarcity mindset.
mm-hmm, mm,
We are blessed with abundance. During my own lifetime itself, during my childhood, even cycle was a luxury. And
mm,
these days, people have multiple cars, and they still feel that uh, my neighbor has BMW, I don't have BMW. He has two BMWs, I don't have two BMWs. That kind of thing. So there's always this scarcity mindset. Despite having accomplished so much, people feel that they don't have enough. And the only reason is that because they are comparing with someone who is ahead of them.
mm.
Every person's journey is unique. Every person has his own way or destiny. So, like developing this mindset that what I have is enough, be happy with that. And with that positive mind, aspire for progress and development and growth. I don't say that don't go for two BMWs, three BMWs, maybe go for Rolls Royce also. Go for that. But first have this positive mindset that whatever is there is good enough. Be
Mm.
happy with that. And then aspire for progress with that peace of mind, and then manifest it.
Yeah.
That's another mindset correction. And a lot of people carry this negative connotative beliefs about money, that money is evil, money corrupts the relations, and rich people are bad or rich people are corrupt, that kind of thing. If anyone is carrying that kind of belief system about money,
Mm.
I tell them clearly that money is not won't come to you, because you yourself are telling that money is bad. And do you want to become a bad person? If you don't
Yeah.
want to become a bad person, then with this belief system, money is not going to come to you. So till this mindset is got into right place, there's no point uh, investing and all those things, because even if they get the good returns, they will end up repelling that money.
Yeah, true. I cannot help but smile when you brought up even cycle was a luxury. And I can completely relate with this because I got my first cycle when I was 8th standard, when I was like 13 years old. And my older boy is now 7 years and he has already had three cycles. The younger one is 5 years old. He has had two cycles, one he has already lost. So the times have really changed. There is more and more abundance nowadays. Like money is not in shortage nowadays. Money is in abundance. That is one thing I can relate to. And like you said about mindset, one thing is uh, you go with the mindset that money is not the end goal, but money is the vehicle to a much more meaningful life. This is one thing I
Correct.
can pick up from
Correct.
what you said. And second thing is having this abundance mindset and having this positive attitude towards money. And especially, I think for our generation, um, maybe because of popular culture, maybe because of Bollywood in the 90s and 2000s, the rich guy was always the bad guy. And I think we have picked up this negative mindset related to money.
Angry young man,
Money is
Amitabh
bad.
Bachchan's Angry Young Man.
Yeah, angry young man, and it is the case with all Kannada film industry also. Like it was always again always about rich versus the poor, and I think this has played a major role in terms of our relationship with money. So great that you're trying to solve this problem, and now let's come to how are you trying to solve these problems? What comprises money management? What all the things you teach to your students in money management? I would be interested to know.
Sure. So the first thing I've told you, mindset. Once the mindset is in shape, then we can start on working on strategies for managing money. And the first thing I tell people is that first let's prepare the foundation, so that because if we are going for high risk, high growth kind of strategies, first thing we should be able to do is, if risk works out on the negative side, we shouldn't be totally uprooted.
Okay.
We should be able to handle that risk. So first step is to create an emergency fund. An
Mhm.
emergency fund is wherein you, even if you lose your job, your cash flow stops, at least for 6 months to 1 year, you are able to sustain. That's
Mm.
for a person who is doing job, because the assumption is that within 6 months to 1 year, the person will be able to find a next job and
Yeah.
resume his or her cash flow. If the person is in his or her own business, then the recommendation for emergency fund is 2 months of expenses that they should be kept in emergency fund.
Mm.
So emergency fund can't be created overnight, but I tell my students that, okay, start working on it and create that emergency fund as soon as possible, fast as possible.
Mm.
Then the other aspect that I bring into light is related to risk management is insurance.
Mm.
And when I say insurance, again, people confuse or mix insurance with investment.
Mhm.
Insurance is meant just to cover the risk, a risk of losing life. Your family may be having some financial expectation from you. If you are not there, they are going to have emotional loss that's irreparable. But even financial loss is there, which is quite significant. And at least that financial loss can be covered through that life insurance. Health insurance is another thing, because these days hospitalization has become so expensive. If God forbid someone has to stay in hospital for some period of time, I have seen people go bankrupt in that case. It
Yeah,
has
yeah.
become that prohibitively expensive, and hospital won't admit you if they don't see your financial capability. So health insurance is another thing. And one thing which is not much talked about is, and I want to emphasize, is disability insurance.
Mm.
If God forbid a person gets involved in an accident
Mm.
and he stays alive, but he gets disabled, so his earning will stop, but he
Mm.
becomes a kind of liability, because more upkeep and maintenance is required for this kind of person. So disability insurance provides that kind of cover. So more insurance are there to cover various kind of risks. There is fire insurance, there is flood insurance, and all those kind. But at least these three insurances need to be in place. Once
Oh.
they are in place, a person's risks are get covered, And
mm,
then a person gets confidence that even if I take some risk in some investments, and if the risk works out on the negative side, I will be able to digest it. I'll be able to handle it. So, because otherwise people keep a lot of money at less growth areas or safe areas just in the anticipation of some risk materializing, and that money stays idle. It doesn't grow.
yeah. True.
So now that idle money can be freed up for investment in areas like stock market, mutual funds, and even some very high risk areas like cryptocurrencies, a very small portion. So after the insurance and risk management are in place, we move towards the investment side. And for
Yeah.
investment, one thing which I recommend is diversification and portfolio creation.
Mm,
The reason diversification is so important is because there is a saying related to investment: don't put all your eggs in one basket. And that's what a lot of people commit the mistake. Either they put all their money in stock market, or they put all their money in fixed deposit. Or one common scenario which I am seeing is that probably 80 to 90% of their overall investment is in real estate, because real estate is so expensive and big ticket that
yeah.
they end up investing so much money out there in real estate.
Mm,
But in such scenarios, like if one sector or one investment doesn't work out, then you are stuck. In case of diversification, one or other investment will keep on working for you,
mm,
and that way you will keep on getting consistent returns.
okay. Yeah.
And then once the investment is also in place, then I tell them to work with, like, all areas need to be balanced. The areas related to financial freedom, there should be some money allocated for that. There should be some money allocated for their goals, short term and long term goals. There should be some money allocated for play jar. When I say play jar, basically, it should money shouldn't be meant just for saving. It should also be like bring some joy in life for you and your family. So go out to some restaurants, go on some travel, see around the world. Use that money for that purpose. So some portion, like some percentage of money, should be allocated for that.
Mm,
Uh, some one bucket should be there for meeting the necessities.
mm,
So I ask people to do expense tracking and see what's the monthly expenses, average based monthly expenses are there,
okay.
and create a bucket for that and take money out of that bucket only.
Mm,
And one needs to simplify his or her life so that expenses stay in control.
mm,
Because another problem which I'd like to highlight is these days people are earning much more salaries than as compared to when we started our career.
yeah. Very, very true.
But they're still able to save lesser money as compared to what we used to do. Because as their income increase, they correspondingly they increase the expenses also.
Mm,
And net they are still not able to save the money, because the mindset or the equation that they follow is savings is equal to income minus expenses. But
yeah.
if you want to do consistent savings, then the equation should be expenses is equal to income minus savings.
Yeah.
That's again a mindset related thing which I try to teach them beforehand. Because if person always thinks that okay, whatever is left out of expenses I will save, then savings can't happen, because there is no limit to the expenses that you can make in today's world. You can go in the negative also.
Yeah.
Then another thing I teach in my community is about debt. People have a lot of negative mindset about debt, and
Mm,
that is bad. Debt is
mm,
not always bad. There is good debt and there is bad debt.
okay.
If there is loan taken to get a liability, when I say liability, it's something for which you are going to pay. Something like a car, maybe a car which is not going to be used for business purpose, rather for just for luxury or pleasure purpose.
Mm,
That's a liability.
mm,
But a loan taken for something which increases your value or which is going to give you returns. Uh, Again, one has to be very mindful over here, because some people take house loan and then buy real estate. It
mm,
can be done. It can be done, and because home loan is the cheapest loan that you get.
yeah.
But one has to be very mindful about this calculation, that the asset that they're going to buy has to give more returns compared to what they are paying for the loan.
Mm,
That's a good asset. But if they are going to buy a liability from that loan, like car or expensive gadgets or watches, then that's a bad debt. So debt management is another thing I teach in my community.
Can you, Dinesh, give few more examples of good debt for a common
Mm.
person who is in a job? What could be a good debt as per you?
Home loan, if done properly,
Hmm.
is can be a good debt. And buying a property using that loan, and home loan is the cheapest loan. So typically one can get it for something around 8% to 9% on the average. And if one buys a property, the rental yields out of that could be 3 to 4%. One shouldn't expect more than that. Like even that I am putting on the higher side.
Hmm.
And then if the property is going to appreciate, say, 6 to 7% per annum, I'm taking that conservative estimate, then the return from the property, combining the rental yield and the appreciation, is going to be 10%. And the loan that he is going to take is going to be 8 to 9%. That
Hmm.
1% differential is profit, the growth that he will get. On
Yeah.
top of that, home loans typically bring the tax benefit also.
Hmm.
So considering that, this kind of thing can bring 2 to 3% real growth, because a lot of people think that 4 to 5% is growth is good enough. uh, but inflation is an important factor to consider,
Hmm.
because in India average inflation is somewhere around 7%.
Yeah.
And if one person is getting growth in portfolio or from investment is 4 to 5%, that is not actually growth, that is actually degrowth, because
Hmm.
inflation is reducing the value of money by
Yeah.
7%, and the growth being, so it is a negative 2% net growth which is being achieved. So the growth has to be more than that inflation rate, that is 7%, to make a positive growth for the person.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Okay. So when it comes to debt, you think it's good to invest in good debts, which over a period of time will keep you net positive, considering
Correct.
the interest you're paying and considering the returns you're getting from that, and also
Correct.
considering inflation, right?
Yes.
So any kind of debt you're taking, you are good to go if that results in a net positive. And
Yes.
another thing you said is don't go for bad debts. Bad debts could be investing in a car when you don't really need it, investing
Yeah.
in the latest iPhone even if you don't need it. And nowadays it is very, very one what I could say concerning trend for me is there is a lot of consumerism. Like every day there is a new gadget, and there is the marketing. You cannot escape the marketing. Okay. And I also go on to an extent to say that there is no free will. Like any action you're taking is always motivated, or it has been somehow seeded into your mind through
Seated.
marketing and
Yeah.
messaging through different, different avenues. You cannot really imagine like how it's happening. If you're a normal person and not
And
thinking of,
young generation who start their career, since they have been kids and they have got like
yeah,
now good money in their hand, they get easily tempted because they have this temptation within them. Earlier they were getting money from their parents, which was kind of limited. Now they have got their own money and good amount of money. They easily fall prey to this kind of thing. It's totally understandable. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So sorry, I interrupted you. You were like making a
No,
point.
it's totally fine, Dinesh. It was great perspective put because I'm not a young person anymore. I almost forgot about that phase of life. But I would like to come back to it later a little bit. But before that, uh, you mentioned the term financial freedom. Can you define it for from your point of view? What really does it mean to be financially free? And then after this, we can um, talk about how will you advise a person who is starting in the job to create this financial freedom, and how a person who is already like 30, 40 years old and not in the best financial shape, and how would you advise that person to create this financial freedom? That will be the follow up. You can just continue to talk
Sure,
about it.
sure, sure.
Yeah.
So when I say financial freedom, what I mean is when people, especially our older generation, they could never think of this because they like my father was born around 1947. He and from partition era, he had seen some very tough times. So money was really like something big for his generation, and based on our upbringing, he kind of passed on that mindset to us. So financial freedom is a concept wherein we say that when someone is working to earn money, typically the mindset is that I have to work and get money in return. So you are basically working for money.
Mm.
So it's if you are working for money, basically you are being a slave of money. So you can't be free. Financial freedom is achieved when you don't have to work for money. You rather make money your slave, you become its master, and you make the money work for you. Money works for you, and you can do whatever you want. You can either
Mm.
choose to rest or you can choose to do what you want to do. When that state is achieved, that's financial freedom.
Yeah.
And so that's basic definition of financial freedom, high level definition. Well, then next the question comes, how can we make it happen? Because people get stuck with that's the typical mindset. Only if I work, I will get money. What's the other way of getting money? So if you work for money and money comes to you, then it's basically active income. The other type of income is passive income, where you put some effort and put some money over there, and after that it comes in the autopilot mode. You don't have to work on it, and it keeps on giving you returns.
Mm.
So the examples could be you write a book, you initially put some effort. After that, that book is published, and if it is a good book, it keeps getting sold, and you keep on getting the royalty. Or
Mm.
these days, digital media, you can create courses. If those courses are good, people will keep on buying, and you will keep on getting income. Or blogging, that could be another source of income. So these are passive sources of income, wherein you
Mm.
put one-time effort, one-time money, and then or investments. You
Mm.
invest in stock market, stocks keep on giving dividends, or even bank-related FDs. They can be source rental income,
Mm.
real estate rental. Now, a stage, our expenses have to be met through these incomes, combination of active income and passive income.
Mm.
A stage wherein your passive income becomes so big that it more than covers your expenses, and you
Mm.
don't need active income. You can leave your active work then. You
Yeah.
can say, okay, my passive income is going to meet my expenses. Why
Mm.
do I need to keep on like slogging for money? And
Mm.
that's where financial freedom is achieved.
Yeah, wonderful, Dinesh. Like one of the things over here, what message I want to give men is that a lot of men are stuck in a job which they don't like. Okay, this is what I used to feel when I was working. Even though it was the field which I liked, but somehow the kind of environment and the kind of growth I had seen, there was some shortfalls. There were some shortfalls from my side also. That's a different story.
Mhm.
But this is the case, like a lot of people, um, they have to work out of compulsion that, okay, without working, I cannot get this money and I cannot survive. But once a person achieves financial freedom, that means he has enough passive income. Even if he doesn't work, he will get enough income which will support him and his family. Of course, passive income is not 100% passive. You have to put some effort in marketing and promoting
Yes, yes.
whatever you are doing. So it's a great concept which I never knew about this. I have been introduced to this very recently.
The
When
state is such that others that even people who have accumulated in IT field, I especially saw it because IT was a well rewarding field. People at times get overseas trip, they get rewarded well in foreign currency. They create that savings and invest it suitable places. But the obsession with money is such that they still keep on working for more and more money.
yeah, yeah.
They at times I have to tell people that you already have so much that you can be financially free, but that
Mm.
mindset is not there. That concept or understanding is not that. Yeah, I can be financially free.
Yeah.
So that's my mission, to tell people you can be financially free. So be financially free. Why you want to keep on slaving? But that because of habit, because of that mindset, because of that conditioning, people have accepted this slavery as way of life.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's mindset is the biggest thing. Like it is the foundation for everything, right? Okay, Dinesh. So let's come to two scenarios. Like a person who is completely new, who is starting out in his career. How would you advise that person to take care of his finances and how to build this life? How to build this financial freedom. And after that, you can talk about a person who is like 30s, in his 30s and 40s, who is already has a lot of commitments and probably is holding some debt. So how would you advise these two people?
Sure. So first, let's talk about young people.
Yeah.
And young people, if they get this awareness about financial freedom concept, it can totally change their life and their further generations' life. Because Einstein had said that compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. And in this compounding thing, uh, this compounding is totally magical because after a certain stage, if things are compounded, like they grow so fast that human mind can't even conceptualize that. So, and for young people, time is their biggest friend
Yeah, very
because
true.
if they start at the right time at the early stage, then they have time is the biggest asset. They don't need to take big risks. They can play very safe. The
Mm,
only equation that they need to understand is about that uh, expenses is equal to income minus savings. First do savings and then do the expenses,
mm,
rather than falling into the trap of income minus expenses, that first they do expenses and then whatever. So set this equation right. I want them to become aware, and whatever income is there, it may
mm,
be good package, it may be not so good package, but manage your expenses. First do savings out of that,
mm.
and then manage your expenses. Simplify your lifestyle,
Okay. So
and then go ahead. You
what
wanted to say?
percentage would you suggest people to start saving if they are, completely new and beginning in the career?
Okay, that's where I can give some ballpark figures.
Mm,
Ideally, one should be saving 40% to 50% of their income, but
mm,
every person's situation is different.
okay.
For some person, expenses because of his own situation may be more. For some person, he may be able to manage with the lesser expense. So percentage wise, I can give very thumb rule kind of thing, but
Mm,
one has to make decision based on his or her individual situation. But the thing is that even if you are able to save small percentage, be consistent. Being consistent is more important rather than doing a big saving for a few days and next month failing to live up to that. Being consistent is the most important thing,
okay.
and then consistently keep on doing that, let it work,
Mm,
and then time is going to work magic for you. And you can be financially free, maybe like in your late 30s or 40s. Definitely you can become financially free if you follow this formula. And where to invest and all those things, those are like very situational specific and need more learning. I can teach them about in my program. Now, next comes the people who are starting a little late, maybe in their 30s and 40s. So these people, first thing is that they also need to become aware that financial freedom is possible. You don't have to keep on slaving for money all throughout your life. Financial freedom, first uh, adopt this concept, then they have to take more effort in making more savings
mm,
because now they have lost time and that time can't be returned. But now they have to start saving more and work with the same equation that income minus savings is equal to expenses. I know at this stage of 30s and 40s, cutting expenses, especially if they have got inflated earlier, bringing them down is seems impossible, but it is not impossible.
mm,
So they have to take that bitter pill, bring down their expenses, increase their savings, and let those savings work in
mm.
high growth areas after putting the risk management in place. And a little later, maybe not as fast as like young people can achieve it, but these people can also achieve the financial freedom that way.
Okay. Great, Dinesh. You said you have to cut expenses. Can you give, a few examples like where they can start cutting expenses?
Sure. One thing which I find a lot of people commit mistake is when making a decision about buying a car.
Hmm.
Okay. Or we'll talk about other gadgets later. For example, one of my students, when he came into my community, he was very emotional about that. His mother is like having some disability or because of old age, and he said he wants to buy a bigger car of the budget of 20 lakhs and brand new car. And his financial situation, seeing his financial situation, I told him, no, you shouldn't do that. So I told him, first of all, you can get a decent car in lower budget and don't go for a brand new car.
Hmm.
Rather look for a deal for a second car which is 2 or 3 years old, because the car immediately after taken out of showroom depreciates by 20 to 30%. Just the showroom premium itself is 20% nearly.
Hmm.
So why go for that premium just because of that new car concept?
Hmm.
On the contrary, based on the internet and the information available these days, you can easily get a good second-hand car, not much driven, and you can check for its safety and everything, and you get a good deal. I myself first committed that mistake of buying a big new car and like losing that money. And next time I corrected that mistake, getting a good deal on the car. And like I feel amazed like how much money one can save based on that. Because
Right.
it's not just the upfront capital expenditure that one makes in the buying the car, insurance premium, maintenance, everything keeps on coming down as you like buy a second-hand car. So and that's one way. Then getting a phone,
Right.
mobile phone. Uh, if you really feel that iPhone can help you and you can afford it, go for it. But don't spend your 1 month salary just to get that iPhone or something. If you can do with lesser priced phone, an Android phone or something, just because iPhone is being touted as the best and everything, it is not something like which is it is going to become a liability. It is not an asset for you. So these are the kind of expenses which can be cut down easily.
Again, I would say with the iPhone, that you are a victim of marketing. You have been sold that iPhone is the best and you should, go for it. I've seen, at
They
least
have to
I have.
stop being the victim. They have to stop being the victim, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have to take control. They have to take charge. Okay, yeah, I know like it is having some premium value, but I will go for it when I can really afford it.
Yeah, Dinesh, the couple of examples you took are like big ticket. Like car is something like twice or thrice in a lifetime kind of deal for a you know middle class person. iPhone is something like once in 2 years or something. Can you point out few things like which we do on a daily basis, like month? It could be a monthly expenditure or maybe a much more frequent thing where we can save a lot of money. Like it may seem like a small ticket, but the frequency is more. Can you give a few examples like that so that which can immediately help
Actually, for this,
any listener?
I was saying that for this cutting down their expenses, what I ask people to do is an exercise called expense tracking.
Mm,
So every day on the in the notepad, paper and pen, using paper and pen, they should note down what all expenses they did every day.
okay.
Because when I ask people their monthly expenses, they say that okay, they are earning 1 lakh per month, they are making 60,000 monthly expenses. In
Mhm.
that case, they should be able to save 40,000 every month, but they are not able to save that much. They are saving 10,000 or 20,000. So I ask them, where did that 20,000 go? And they don't have any answer to that. So these things I called as leakages.
Leakages. Yeah.
So because they don't even realize where that money is going. And if they are able to fix that leakage,
Mm,
and the only way of doing that is doing this expense tracking every month.
mm,
And once they start doing expense, so every day, sorry, they have to do expense tracking every day. And once they start noting down every day this thing, and they have to note down every minute expense, they themselves start seeing that, oh, I'm doing so much expense on this thing, and this is not meaningful expense. They start themselves cutting that down. I don't have to tell them to do, because for every person, something is, a person may be loving coffee, he may indulge in that. A person may be having some other taste. He may not want to compromise, because keeping your inner child happy is also important. If you are, despite on making good savings, if you are not going to be happy, that money is useless. So the person, once he start becomes aware of his expenses minutely, he himself will start cutting down on the lower priority expenses.
Right. Great, Dinesh. One thing that came popped in my mind when you were saying this, that uh, we have to realize that nowadays spending money has become very easy. Like everything is on your fingertips, everything is on your phone. Like you may be ordering on Swiggy and Zomato again and again, which the cost will add up. It is convenience, but the cost will really, really add up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Eating out, you can use credit cards, anything and everything you want, you can just order it on Amazon. There is a lot of impulsive buying. This is one thing I have observed. I have also been little mindful about this. I also tend to do this. And UPI, as much as it is a boon to the economy and people who are doing business, it is also a bane for people who are spending, right? It has become so easy to spend money. So I think it's a great advice, Dinesh. Like we have to start noting down where we are spending, and this is the habit which I think which is lost in time. My mother used to do this very, very long time back, but nowadays hardly I have seen any person doing this. So I think it's very, very it's like going back to basics, like whatever our parents used
Yes.
to do. Yes, Dinesh. So I think we are getting, ahead, short of time. Uh, we have, you have covered a lot of things. You have added a lot of value um, coming here on the podcast, Dinesh. Thank you so much for doing it. Before parting away, Dinesh, I would like to, like you to end with your final thoughts, or if you want to um, share few lessons, like a couple of lessons which people can take away. Something like if the person has listened to this podcast till the end, it should be like hitting gold.
Okay. Sure, I will try that, like to give that golden nugget. And it is that in our education system, we are given a lot of skills. We are taught about science, maths, and a lot of skills. And further, we may go for engineering or medicine for getting those skills. All those skills are meant for us to get engaged and start making money out of that. But in our education system, we are not taught about, once that money starts coming, how to manage that money. And it's an important skill. I am trying to make it part of the education system. I am going to work at the college levels and school levels to provide that education. Till that happens, uh, please be mindful of the money that you are getting, how to make the best use of it, how to manage it well, because it is an important medium for you to accomplish bigger goals. And you can choose to come with me or follow any money mentor that you resonate with. But please work on these money management skills, because it's going to help you a long way, ensuring peace in your life, in your relations, and finally achieving the financial freedom. Be aware of that financial freedom and go for it. So
Yes.
that's my parting thought.
Thank you for your advice, Dinesh. What I would like to add here is, um, see, one thing that internet has brought is, it is a boon in a way that we have access to so much of information which we could never imagine when we were growing up. Like it has created a lot of information, and it's a great leveler. Like anybody can access any kind of information, and it is also a bane in a way that there is so much of information and there is so much of confusion. Uh, you are left with you are left paralyzed, like they say,
Overwhelmed.
paralysis by analysis. Like if you really want to achieve something, I would say the best approach is to find someone who is already doing it and someone who is teaching it. It saves a lot of time, effort, and lot of heartburn and
Yes.
lot of losses. And I would definitely urge our listener, if you're listening this, you should find a coach, someone who is knowledgeable, and someone who can uh, you know cut short your learning curve, and give you some immediate actionable steps which can immediately help you to improve your finances, and also build a better life with all the hard-earned money you've earned. Don't waste the hard-earned money you've earned. And I would definitely want you to connect with Dinesh. So for that, Dinesh, I would like to ask you, how can our listener connect with you?
Sure. My website is dineshkumar.coach. Over there, you can get all details of my programs, about myself. You can book a one-to-one call with me to get more clarity about my programs, and that will be a 45-minute call. I'll answer all your queries and give more details about my programs, and then you can make a wise choice whether my programs suit you or not, and that's the best place to come.
Yes. And there is an option to get on a call with you in your website. People
Yes, yes.
can.
And it's going to be a free call, free discovery
Yeah.
call, wherein I get to know more about you and you get to know more about me and my programs.
Yeah.
And I'm also uh, coming to programs is a paid program. But otherwise, on social media, I keep on putting my
Mm.
value content as part of my mission. And I'm there on LinkedIn, I'm there on Facebook, Insta, as well as YouTube. So I'll
Okay.
be giving those links to you, Adarsh, and you can
Yeah, yeah.
put that
Great,
on your
Dinesh.
podcast.
So I'll leave all the connection, all the links to Dinesh's social media and also his website in the description. I would definitely urge you check out his stuff, go to his social media and get all the free value he's giving you. And if you're serious and if you want to take your financial game to the next level and secure your future and have a build a truly financially free life for yourself, definitely get on a call with Dinesh, go to his website and book a call with him, and I'm pretty sure he'll be able to help you. So Dinesh, thank you so much for coming on the show and adding a lot of value. um, I wish you all the best and all the best in your endeavor, and I think I would have, I feel, I wish I had someone like you when I was, starting in my career. I have learned a lot of things the hard way. So hope you create a lot of impact in this world and create truly, truly, amazing financial education, financial literacy in uh, in the world. Thank you so much
Sure,
again.
Adarsh. Sure,
Um,
Adarsh. Thanks a lot. It has been a pleasure coming over here and interacting with you. And yes, like let's continue our journeys and thanks for all your wishes.
yes, Dinesh, it was good having you. Thank you so much. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, Adarsh. Bye for now.